Hi guys, it's Stephanie from Cake Nation. Today we're going to learn how to make a simple rose. The first thing you want to do is make a teardrop shape with some modelling fondant. It needs to come to a little bit of a point at the top, as you can see here, because that's what we're going to wrap the actual individual petals around. Sharpen it up if need be and then place it somewhere to dry. I've made a few here just to give the others time to dry before we start working on the petals, but once you've made the amount that you need, leave them somewhere to dry and roll out some modelling paste quite thin. I've got some rose cutters here. I've put the link in the description box below as to where you can get these, and basically what you want to do is check for size to see whether it actually fits or not. You want something that's slightly bigger than the bud that you've made, because it needs to be able to wrap around this. Anything too small and you'll still see the bud once you've actually wrapped your first petals around. So for the first stage of the rose, you need to cut out 2 of your petals, and you need to get a balling tool and smooth out one edge. This is just to make it really thin so that we can play with it and wrap it round. And once you've done that, if you turn it over and make a small ball mark in the other side, you just want to wet one side of the petal and place it on as so. If you just push one side down and make sure that it's stuck quite firmly down, you can use your brush if you need to with a little bit of water just to make it stick. And the other petal needs to go on the other side, and then you can tuck it in. As you can see, I'm doing here with my brush, I'm just tucking in that side so they're overlapping slightly, and then wetting the bits of petals that are left out and then just wrapping them round, and that'll be the start of our bud. Now I'm just using my brush just to gently fold in the petals right at the centre of the rose and just making it look neat as possibly can. This is what it should look like once you have got your first 2 petals on. Once those are on, set it to one side to dry. Roll out again your modelling paste quite thin, and then you want to take your next size up of the cutter and cut out 3 of the petals this time. Again, once these are done, if you take your balling tool and you just smooth out the edges and then flip over and create your ball mark in the other side. So you need to just make sure it frills a little bit, and this will give it a more natural look when it actually goes on to the bud. Again, if you take some water or some edible glue and wet one side of the petal, you need to take the point of the petal that's going to go towards the bottom of the bud, and you can see that I'm just overlapping it from the first 2 petals that we put on there and fitting the next one in, and then the third one will come on. Once you've got all of these in, if you wet the other side, and you can start to wrap the petals around each other. Now it's up to you, you can wrap them round to be quite tight or quite loose, it just depends on what kind of rose you want to go for. I'm leaving mine fairly loose on this one and just pulling the edges back a little bit. This is what it should look like once you've got the 3 petals on. Once you're happy with the shape of your rose and the position of your petals, if you put it down somewhere to dry, roll out some more of your modelling paste and then cut out another 5 petals. You always want to stick to odd numbers, and you always want to go up in 2. It just gives the rose a better look when it's finished. Once you've cut out your 5 petals, again we're going to put them on your styrofoam and smooth out one edge, and then use your balling tool in the centre of the petal on the other side. Once you've done this for all 5 petals, you need to wet again one side of the petal, and we're going to use this wet side to stick them on to the rose. And it can get quite fiddly the more petals you put on, but you just want to overlap where the edge of the last petal was on the other layer, and just try and get them on without them sliding all over the place. Now I tend to just try to put them on and then adjust them once they're actually on. Wet the other side of the petal once you've got all 5 of them on, and just work your way around the rose, just making sure that everything is stuck down. Once they're all in place, you can then work on pulling out the petals as and where you see fit. Now you can make this rose as big as you want by adding more layers. Remember to go up in 2. This is a rose I would use for a celebration cake. I do different roses for wedding cakes, and I will be doing a tutorial for those as well. Here's the finished cake that I did. You can do it in any colour and it's something really simple. If you liked this tutorial, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and check out some of my other videos. Thank you.